Welcome back to Marketing Champions here on Daily Ad Brief. I'm Howard Walpoff, your host. Again, we're talking about marketing with marketing experts from around the country. Today, we're in Herndon, Virginia with Junaid Ahmed from Home Studio Mastery. And Junaid, welcome to our conversation today.
Hey, Howard, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm excited as well and very excited to share your story with our audience. So why don't we start by telling us how you got started within marketing?
Well, marketing has been a very favorite thing of mine. I've got into it back in the early 90s when I was designing websites and designing mobile apps later on. But I really was fascinated by marketing because you get to showcase people and tell people that, hey, we're solving a problem. Started with desktop publication, and then it's just been a long, fast journey to where I am today.
Yeah, it's amazing when you look back and realize how fast it goes and all the different pieces that you absorbed along the way with your experiences. But what you're doing now really is timely because the world has changed and a lot of people are doing much of their communication from their home, from their office on a camera and screen as opposed to meetings. And you really make it a lot more interactive, not just these one-on-one meetings, but obviously the broader pieces of being on panels, giving speeches and doing podcasts. So why don't you share a lot, not just a lot about what Home Studio Mastery has been doing.
Absolutely. So it all came down to me trying to create a course to teach people how to use this guy really easily and be able to create content. And I wanted to create a course. I set up my studio and it took me a long time to create, just to set up the space. But what I realized is that, hey, there has to be a faster, easier way. Now, I've been in the film industry for past decade, creating short films, creating documentaries, and I knew what it takes to set up a stage, staging a shot, uh, blocking the shot, making sure that we're capturing the story that we want to tell. So I was like, why don't I bring that tech into my own home studio? Pandemic accelerated that for me because we were all sitting in front of cameras. I was like, hey, I could bring all of my tech together and the knowledge that I've gained through Hollywood camera setup and create a place where I can show up and create content with the blink of an eye. Press a button, record the content, and now you can share it with the world. And the hardest thing was, what's my message, right? My message, or what's my story? And am it took me a while, and after doing over 300 podcast episodes and bringing guests on, I started to see that story. So now I help people all over the world to figure out what equipment to get, what lighting to get, because that's one of the hardest things. There's so many different brands of cameras, of lights, of microphones, and you just don't want to waste the time in buying three different microphones, testing which one works for you, and then returning. Nobody has that kind of time. So I help cut that time down to people all over the world. I've helped people in UK, in Japan, in Canada, in the US, of course, and all virtually, remotely. And that's something that was only possible because of the pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic changed a lot of things, and you see everyone has experienced many different types of backgrounds and lighting and cameras being at people's eyes or people's chins or cutting heads off. And being able to do it professionally is very important. I have lights here in the studio that I don't have at home, and so the experience is very different when I'm speaking to someone. You have a setup like that you're teaching other people to do, and it really gives you a lot more flexibility and comfort if you are going to be a guest on a podcast or giving presentations where you know that things are extremely professional and you can do things like that and switching cameras to really make a presence in your experience.
Absolutely. And what it does for people is that it gives them confidence to show up on camera. It gives them confidence on what they already know. And that's something that we've been doing for all of our lives, why by dressing up nicely, because when we show up in person, we don't have to worry about what we see with our eyes. We just, look in the mirror, make sure we're looking good. We got the nice suit on. We go and show up. But with us sitting in front of the cameras, we're looking at ourselves more than we have ever seen ourselves in the past few decades. In fact, there was more plastic surgeries happen in 2020 than the past decade just because of this.
And it makes sense. It is much more visual. You really are seeing yourself in different ways than you have before. And what you're doing, what you're providing for people, is really helping them get their best foot forward. And if you have that professional look, you're more confident in what you're doing and saying. So we thank you so much for joining us and for sharing all the things that you're doing for people out there and making sure that they are camera ready at all times.
100%. And I've got a challenge coming, a 5-day challenge on walking people through what it takes. So if anybody's interested, you can come visit homestudiomastery.com, and would love to help anybody that I can remotely or physically in making sure they're camera ready.
Excellent. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you all for joining us as well. That confidence in making sure you are camera ready, that you look good, you're angled right, you're not seeing 17 chins or nose hair or other things. The camera is important, but having real great stuff, real cameras, real lighting, and you can see what Junaid has in his studio. That's a setup that he can give to other people and make sure that they can really do a lot of great things from the convenience of their home. So please check out more information we have about all the things he's doing here on Daily Ad Brief, and go out, have a great rest of today. We'll see you next time on Marketing Champions.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.